Hundreds of people at the state capitol Saturday rallying both for and against gun control. Thanks for staying up late with us. I'm Brian Johnson. On one side of this debate, a national grassroots movement founded after the shootings in Newtown, Connecticut. On the other, dozens of people who want to show there are law-abiding people who carry guns and don't believe more laws will solve America's violence problem.
What we're doing is giving out the voice for common sense. We're not on either extreme. We are representing the middle.
That middle, according to Moms Demand Action for Gun Sense in America, is closing the loopholes that put our children's safety in jeopardy by banning assault weapons and requiring universal background checks.
We need to protect our families. We need to protect our children. And the way to do that is through the legislative process with comprehensive, common sense gun laws.
Members of Michigan Open Carry held a counter-protest during Saturday's rally and say a lot of what the group is proposing is not common sense.
Gun control does nothing to stop criminals from doing what they're doing. Gun buybacks don't work. Do you think the criminals are going to give up the guns which they use for their trade? Would a carpenter give up his hammer?
Police disagree. Captain Darrell Green with the Lansing Police Department says closing loopholes in gun laws are necessary because criminals are getting smarter.
Some of our savvy criminals know how to navigate the system concerning those loopholes, and we want to show support for common sense, universal background checks for guns.
Whatever side you fall on in the gun control debate, one man from Fenton put it this way: just speak up.
All the moms and dads in our country, we have to do something positive. We've got to turn the pain, the hurt from that into action. We need to speak up. We need to call our senators, call our congressmen, ask for something that's common sense.
One Newtown family is doing just that, asking the Senate to pass common sense gun legislation. Elizabeth Pran has the latest on the national gun control debate in Washington.
The president asked Newtown mother Francine Wheeler to give the speech in light of the ongoing gun regulation debate. Wheeler's 6-year-old son Ben was murdered in his classroom during the Sandy Hook Elementary School shooting back in December. She was visibly shaken during her very powerful address.
We have to convince the Senate to come together and pass common sense gun responsibility reforms that will make our communities safer and prevent more tragedies like the one we never thought would happen to us.
Wheeler is among one of the many faces we've seen in Washington this week as victims' families have been lobbying and attending the Senate debate to allow a vote on the proposed gun law. Some lawmakers, such as Senate Minority Leader Mitch McConnell and Utah Senator Mike Lee, feel this isn't really getting to the heart of the problem. They say government shouldn't punish law-abiding citizens who exercise their Second Amendment rights, and this legislation is more like an impulsive Band-Aid, not addressing mental health regulations.
My concern with it is that it restricts the rights of law-abiding citizens, and it does little or nothing to really deter the kind of gun violence, the kind of thing that occurred at Sandy Hook, which all of us would like to eliminate. But this is a kind of law that's confusing and vague for the law-abiding, but it's very easy for criminals to get around.
The Senate debate is scheduled for Tuesday. Even though the Senate did vote 68-31 to allow the debate to begin in the first place, there are certainly ways that members could stall any amendment or even the final passage of the bill. In Washington, Elizabeth Pran, Fox News.